welcome to another episode of I Demand a Homestead. My name is Amanda, and today what we're going to be talking about is growing mushrooms. And this episode is actually brought to us by a company called NorthSpore. All right, this is a company in Maine, in the US, and they supply lots of different things for growing your own mushrooms, spawn, kits. There's instructional guides, instructional videos. So whatever your kind of level of growing expertise, and I am a beginner, so whatever your level, they've got stuff there that you can kind of check out and see if that's something that you're interested in. So what I have got today is I have two of these, and these are really good for beginners like me, these mushroom kits, okay? So this is like, if you've never grown mushrooms, this is the way to start, all right? Basically, these just sit on your kitchen counter, and all the spore is kind of inside this box, okay? So I've got a couple of them here. I've got this golden oyster mushroom one, which looks beautiful. And then I have got lion's mane, which to me looks like a big giant brain or cauliflower, but also super cool. All right, so nice thing is your kit comes with the substrate, which is the stuff that the mushrooms grow on. It also comes with a spray bottle, which is what you need to keep the mushroom substrate moist while it's getting ready to fruit, okay? And then it also kind of comes along with instructions. So basically, on the back of the box here, it tells you exactly what to do. First step is there's a little perforated area that you kind of peel off. Then you're going to cut a hole in that. Then you just spray it a couple of times a day at least and wait for those mushrooms to start growing. Okay, so let's kind of start this process now and we'll get going on this. Okay, so here's the front of my two kits here. And I'm just going to, there's a perforated edge, but I'm just going to gently get it started. I don't want to perforate the bag inside. Just like that. Okay. And inside you can see all this white mycelium, right? Really kind of well colonized, and that's exactly the way you want it to look. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the golden oyster mushrooms. Okay, so that's step one. We've kind of opened them up. All right, and then inside the top lid here is where your detailed instruction kit is. So I'm going to close that back up, and my little spray bottle, which comes with each one. So we are already at this step here. We open the front door. Open the front door of our mushroom kit. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is slice with an X onto the plastic with it opening with a sharp knife or scissors. Okay. I'm going to make sure that this knife is nice and clean though, just so I don't introduce any contaminants. Okay. Same thing on the other one. Okay, so we've opened up both of those. That was step number 2. And now it says fill the sprayer included with your kit with tap water and spritz the plastic where you sliced your X. All right, spritz twice daily or more if you're in a particularly dry climate. So now we're just going to give them a spritz. All right, so now what we need to do, according to my instructions here, is we want to place the kit in a moist, humid part of your home outside of direct sunlight, okay? Okay, so this is where it's going to kind of hang out. And all right, so we will come back when we start to see some action in here. All right, so now you can kind of see how our mushrooms have been growing. It's about 2 weeks since we first kind of opened the bag or got them going. And this is the size of the mushrooms that we got. There they are. I kind of put my hand in here for scale. Okay, there's our golden oyster mushrooms. I would have kind of shown you how I harvested them, but I was worried that they were kind of going to go past their peak. And I didn't have time to do a video. So basically all I did is they're coming out of here, and then I just kind of found the kind of base of the stalk and pull it away from the substrate. And then if we kind of turn and look, you can see that it's got a little bit of the substrate attached there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that off with a knife before I cook them. And then I did pretty much the same thing with the lion's mane here, which this is super cool looking. You kind of look, it's got these really kind of funky like teeth. And what you're looking for when you harvest this one is that you see that it's got teeth that are about less than 1/4 of an inch long, and that it hasn't kind of gone yellowy, right? Because if it's going yellowy, then apparently it means that it's bitter. And then as far as the golden oyster, you're looking for the caps to be flattened, but still kind of turning down, okay, which is kind of what we've got here. They were starting to kind of look a little bit dry, so that's why I went ahead and harvested them. And these ones, the teeth were getting a little bit long. It was literally long in the tooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook these up and we're going to try them out. Okay, so what we've done with these oyster mushrooms is we have sauteed them in some olive oil and with some garlic and salt and pepper. And then I mixed them in with some pasta with some lemon juice as well as some Parmesan cheese. And it looks absolutely fabulous. We're gonna try this out right now. So the next thing that we are going to do is we're gonna cook up our lion's mane mushroom into some mock crab cakes using the recipe actually from NorthSpore's website. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of pull these apart into kind of like bite-sized small pieces. This stuff kind of pulls apart and shreds in a really, really cool way. Now we're going to mix it with the rest of our ingredients. All right, our crab cakes are sauteing. All right, there it is. Beautiful mock crab cake, complete with a homemade roll and some roasted Brussels sprouts from the garden. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, so both of those kind of mushroom recipes were wonderful. They were delicious. I've never had lion's mane mushroom before, and I love the way it pulled apart. Kind of really, I can see why people use it kind of as a mock kind of meat substitute, because it very much has that like shredded chicken, shredded pork kind of texture. So that was great. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I've got my 2 boxes here, and I'm going to try and get a second flush out of both of these. So what I've kind of read is that you give them a little bit of a rest for about a week where you don't really spray them. And then I'm going to try soaking each of these blocks for about 24 hours. And then I'm going to flip the bag around and cut it open again and start that spraying process all over again and see if I can get a second flush. Apparently the second flush is a little bit harder to get than the first one, so it's not a guaranteed thing, but I'm going to try my best. But regardless, if you've never grown mushrooms before and you want to kind of see what it's like, what the process is like, maybe to see whether or not this is something that you want to try a little bit more in depth, or maybe you just want to show your kids how mushrooms grow, I think these grow boxes, spray and grow boxes, are a great idea. All right, so I want to thank again NorthSpore for having me try these out. They were wonderful. And if I do get a second flush, I'll let you guys know. All right, so thank you for joining me on another episode of I Demand a Homestead. If you like this video, please feel free to press the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss another one of my videos. All right, everybody, have a great day. Goodbye.